the only way to really overcome your sufferings is the struggle of getting through them. Honestly, it's the struggle getting through them. If you can get through them in a karmically good way, and sometimes it's tough. I'm not going to tell you and go into specifics of that because I don't know every possible situation out there, but I know that if you awake in your highest life state, you will be able to transverse those sufferings in a way that's actually going to help you grow from it. Hello there, Adam Cardona here. I did promise you in the very first episode of Tales of a Buddhist Jedi that I would give you at least one episode every year until I was able to actually focus and make a number of episodes to kind of really explain and flesh things out. Well, guess what? This is episode 2, and yeah, I know that it took me a little while to release it and it's the last day of the year, but I'm still giving it to you. So let's talk about two concepts, because Buddhist Jedi means I'm using Buddhism lessons with a Jedi like kind of explainer to mesh the two, because honestly I think that when I personally mesh the two together, it really helps me get to a better state of life and become a better person. I'm going to be taking from this book about courage, a Buddhism book, and then I'm also going to quote one thing from Determination, and I'm going to explain those two things. These are written by Daisaku Ikeda, who is currently the head of SGILA organization. But anyway, without further ado, here we go. So one of the first things that I really want to talk about is there's a quote on page 6, in the middle of page 6. It goes, "Those who lack courage stray from the correct path and succumb to apathy, negativity, and destructive ways." It's kind of like what Yoda said, fear leads to hate, hate leads to anger, anger leads to the dark side. There is this like kind of pattern that I noticed that I see happening with people, and it starts, and I've even experienced to a certain degree. I didn't get fully into it. I saw it good enough, and then I was like, okay, let me stop. But the path to like really sometimes doing evil starts just from apathy. It starts from watching that person that's really effed up or something doing something, and you know it's wrong and you do nothing about it. That actually is one of the first steps, because you begin to make excuses. So even if you're essentially a good person, you make excuses why it's okay not to be a good person, why it's not to align, not why it's, you don't want to align with the good in the universe, the light side of the force in kind of a way, right? And it starts with that. It starts with apathy, not caring. But when you choose apathy, it makes your heart indifferent to the injustices and the bad things that happen in life. And then once you change the mind, and your mind is justifying like acts that would be considered dark or evil, then once your mind is set, then your body goes into all the action. So that's part of the issue there. So, and I see a lot of it. I've seen a lot of it in my lifetime, rather. People start indifferent, and then eventually they go into darker things. So be mindful about your indifferences. Even if you have trouble like properly expressing it, find a way to express it. Like, hey, I don't think that's good, man. Even just a little bit. And you start with small changes and you progress into bigger changes. Strengthen yourself and you make yourself stronger. And that, which I quoted, that was from the Courage book. And that really does take courage to do something like that. But you have to find it in yourself. But just like your Buddha nature, your higher self, if you haven't experienced it yet, it's dormant inside of you. You just need to wake it up. And then once that higher self, that Buddha nature really starts activating, the light side of the force is going to, in its own way, speak to you. And then that's going to help you find the courage in your own manner, because everyone expresses something like courage or any other emotion, even whether it's anger, fear, hate, love, joy, in their own way, according to who they are in their soul. So just make sure that you don't become apathetic. That is one of the lessons. And then lesson number 2, taken from the book of Determination, also by Daisaku Ikeda. These are really tiny but affordable books. They just have quotes kind of saying what each one is. I'll actually put a link in the description if you're watching this on YouTube, so you could pick them up if you want. So now, in the book of Determination, page 9, last quote on that page, or page 9, it goes, "When we experience suffering in life, both mental and physical, we become stronger. That is why if young people wish to become great human beings, they must not seek an idle or easy life." Now, this one, I've been through a lot of personal, hey Bodhi, you want to be on video? I've been through a lot of personal issues in my life. I've had my struggles. And the reason I started with apathy and then got into this is because how I chose really did set the course of my life going forward. And I know I'm making this for everybody, but really I want to talk to the younger people in this, because no matter who you are, and I don't care if you come from wealth, I don't care where you come from, whether you're rich, you're poor, you're in a city, you're in a farm, wherever you are, we're going to experience some kind of suffering in our life that is formatted to make us suffer according to who we are. Right? So we'll always get that. And like the quote said, it's both in the mind and the body. You'll have mental struggles, things that'll cause you mental stress, but then you'll have physical struggles. And both of them we have to kind of rise from. In Buddhism, like in Nichiren Daishonin Buddhism, or SGI, Soka Gakkai, chant to awaken your Nam-myoho Renge Kyo, to awaken your Buddha nature. It's kind of like a Jedi doing meditation to get in tune with the Force. It's very similar to that. So we chant Nam-myoho Renge Kyo, and we awaken our Buddha nature, whether it's something mental, physical. What happens is it defies logic when you wake up that higher nature, that Buddha nature, and it'll open up doors in ways that even if you have the highest IQ in the world, if you're like in Mensa, it's going to open up doors that even a Mensa person couldn't see. Like, seriously, on another note, because it's a divine universe. You could say God, but I'm a Buddhist, but it's an intelligent, living universe. And when we awaken that, the universe interacts with us, and we get answers, and we figure out these sufferings in a way that we weren't expecting. And this is why it doesn't matter who you are going to suffer, but it is an opportunity to grow, it is an opportunity to awaken your highest state, and then become a better person and help yourself first. But as you awaken and you become enlightened, of course, the nature will come to help other people. But the only way to really overcome your sufferings is the struggle of getting through them. Honestly, it's the struggle getting through them. If you can get through them in a karmically good way, and sometimes it's tough. I'm not going to tell you and go into specifics of that, because I don't know every possible situation out there, but I know that if you awaken your highest life state, you will be able to transverse those sufferings in a way that's actually going to help you grow from it. Because if you listen to like esoteric spiritual practices outside Buddhism, they say that if you encounter the same mistake over and over again, that it's something that you need to learn, but you haven't learned it yet. So if you awaken your Buddha nature, you will learn what you need to learn. Like, I've experienced it, but if you haven't experienced it, it's hard to explain. It's like things just fall into place once you've learned that lesson, and you're doing it from like a good place, from a sincere place. Maybe one or two of you need to also understand sincerity. That would be another episode for another time. But you must be determined to get through it. You must be courageous. There's other things, and I'll quote in future episodes that I'll help relate. But really, Happy New Year. I hope everyone has a great 2022, or whatever year you're watching this in. May that year bring you much success and much joy. Make sure you subscribe and you continue tuning in, because I will relate every Buddhism video in like a kind of Jedi, esoteric, mixed kind of sense. So you would really love it. I will see you in the next video.